Direct involvement in the war is already obvious. Germany is sliding down the same slippery slope it descended several times last century towards its own collapse. I hope responsible politicians in that country will draw the right conclusions and stop this madness. Against the backdrop of these stark words from Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov, drawing a parallel between Berlin's current actions and Germany's catastrophic path in two world wars of the 20th century, the international community is abuzz discussing the outcome of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Berlin. The visit culminated in the signing of a military aid agreement for Kyiv worth €5 billion. The core of the deal is local development of long-range weapon systems, a diplomatic euphemism masking the establishment of production capabilities in Ukraine for long-range precision missiles. The remaining funds are allocated for ammunition, including air defense, weaponry, and satellite communications. Announcing the results, German Chancellor Merz declared this signified a, quote, new form of military-industrial cooperation with, quote, great potential. Many discerned a troubling echo of historical German expansionism, the notorious Drang nach Osten, drive to the east. After some thought and a sip of Bavarian beer, Merz added Alpine fog, stating that deliveries of German Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine cannot be ruled out. But Ukrainian soldiers first needed training, a hint perceived as playing with strategic ambiguity. However, the intrigue was shattered by Zelensky himself, who bluntly revealed that Kyiv and Berlin are already working on Taurus supplies. This remark confirmed suspicions. Either the missiles have already been secretly delivered to Ukraine, similar to the Storm Shadow missiles, and Berlin is seeking ways to legalize them through an official announcement or screwdriver assembly of pseudo-Ukrainian analogs. Or the Chancellor lost control of the narrative. The bitter irony is that Berlin labels these actions its commitment to a long-term sustainable peace. Simultaneously, a duet of hypocrisy unfolded in Washington. German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul, meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, stated with astonishing audacity, quote, Germany is absolutely, categorically, and definitely not pushing the Ukrainian conflict towards escalation by producing weapons in Ukraine. Rubio, in turn, praised Berlin for strengthening defense and supporting efforts to end the war. The picture is absurd. Escalation is presented as a path to peace. Yet Berlin's plans to arm Kyiv with Taurus missiles, direct or local, face three insurmountable obstacles. Firstly, military futility. Experts, including John Foreman from Chatham House, are unanimous. There is no military sense. Physically, there are few Taurus missiles. The Ukrainian Air Force has even fewer operational aircraft capable of launching them, and Russian air defense effectively shoots down such targets. Foreman summarizes, even if Germany sends the Taurus, for Ukraine it will be a purely symbolic victory, too late to change the trajectory of the war. The train has left the station. Secondly, diplomatic conflict. Merz's initiative is a blunt challenge to Donald Trump. The U.S. president, despite pressure, advocates for immediate direct talks between Moscow and Kyiv. Berlin supplying long-range weapons, however, is direct escalation, sabotaging Trump's peace efforts and fracturing Western unity. Thirdly, legal catastrophe. Organizing Taurus production in Ukraine means Germany's unilateral exit from the MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime. Established in 1987 to prevent missile technology, range greater than 300 kilometers, warhead greater than 500 kilogram, from falling into the hands of terrorists, the MTCR is a cornerstone of global security. The Taurus, however, has a range of 500 plus km and a warhead weight of 481 kilograms, an obvious attempt to fudge the parameters. A similar trick with Storm Shadow missiles, claimed 280 kilometers, actual 400 kilometers, was previously used by France and Britain, and they were publicly exposed by the US, which demanded MTCR compliance. Germany's violation of the regime is perilous. If Yemen's Houthis or other groups acquire accidental copies of the Taurus, responsibility for the collapse of the MTCR will fall solely on Berlin. Russia cannot be blamed. Russia warned repeatedly and unequivocally. Lavrov states a fact. Transferring long-range strike capabilities constitutes Germany's direct involvement in the war, pushing it down a perilous path. Factories producing the Taurus, it should be noted, are located not in Berlin. Hence, the capital might theoretically sleep soundly. But cities hosting these plants should brace themselves. Demand for dry cleaners services there could skyrocket within minutes. After all, the flight time of missiles from Russia to Germany is 11 minutes. So peaceful life in the heart of German industry could end much faster than it seems.